The Defense Department's Office of Inspector General has released its top 10 management challenges for fiscal year 2022. Those challenges range from maintaining advantage in strategic competition to retaining a modern workforce. Courtney Fones is the Management Challenges Lead at the Department of Defense Office of Inspector General. Courtney, welcome to the program.
Hi, Mimi. Thanks for having me.
Start by telling us how your office decides what challenges go into the list.
Sure. So we, canvass and look around at what we're seeing through our oversight work. We also look at what we may have reported on in the previous year. And then we brainstorm any new topics. We also solicit input from DoD senior leaders. We want to see what they say the challenges are that they're facing. We also consider any oversight work in other parts of the oversight community. And we also consider input from Congress and any statutory requirements we have. And we use all of that collectively to decide what we think the top challenges are for the department.
And last year, Courtney, the list included transforming data into a strategic asset, but it's not on this year's list. Why?
Yes, so we decided not to have a separate focused challenge regarding data, but you'll see it as sort of a common thread throughout several of our other challenges where we talk about the need for having accurate data and for using that data to make informed decisions. You'll see it in several of our other challenges. So still important, just not as a standalone challenge this year.
Well, one challenge that you did add this year was recruiting and retaining a modern workforce. What do you mean by modern?
Yeah, so when we talk about modern, we're often talking about emerging technologies, new domains such as space and the cyber domain. We're talking about like science, technology, engineering, and the math fields, commonly referred to as STEM. These sort of advanced technology personnel that we need to develop new technologies for the Department of Defense and stay ahead of the curve in strategic competition.
The report says, quote, the DoD OIG seeks to plan oversight projects more fully, dynamically, and holistically. Can you give me an example of what that would look like?
Yes, so in tandem with our management challenges, we also annually develop an oversight plan. This is our assessment and estimate of the work that we're going to perform in the upcoming year, but it's specific to planned work based on what we're seeing exactly at that moment and what we've seen and assessed over the full year. However, there's a lot of work that might be emerging that isn't included on that oversight plan. So we leave room for ourselves to add new projects as we need.
So another item on the challenges list is, quote, increasing agility in acquisition and contract management. This has been an issue for a while. I mean, what will you be looking at specifically?
Yes, so, as you know, the acquisition and contracting realm for the Department of Defense is a very, very long-standing challenge. The Government Accountability Office has included it on its own high-risk list for many, many years. And we decided to make it its own standalone challenge this year just to draw continued attention to that issue. One thing that we're really going to focus on with that is the issue of pricing and getting a fair and reasonable price for what the department buys.
Or are there any areas of improvement since last year that you can talk about?
Yeah, so actually I'll talk briefly about in the acquisition and contracting realm, we did see some improvement. DoD has been issuing some acquisition reforms. This gives the department much more flexibility and agility, as the title of that challenge says, to make decisions on how it buys what it needs more effectively and efficiently. And then in other areas, we see some progress with, for example, financial management and budgeting. The department has been addressing all of the recommendations that we make as auditors and really taking action on those to improve their business processes and practices.
So how does the Office of the Inspector General measure the success, Courtney, of DoD's ability to address these challenges?
We do that through the oversight plan and the work that we do. So our body of work includes audits, evaluations, and then also investigations. So our oversight plan only really highlights the work that we plan to do in audits and evaluations. But much of our work is unplanned. We deal with emerging issues, and then our investigative components, our criminal investigations group and our administrative investigative groups are looking at all kinds of emerging or reactive measures that they need to look at to do investigations that also will tie into those challenges, and we'll see success that way.
So, I mean, this is a guiding document for your office. You mentioned the oversight that you're going to be doing. How do you prioritize from this list? And do those priorities have the potential to change as the year progresses?
Yes, we do have some priorities. We'll take a look at what is an emerging or important topic right now, what would be the most timely project to do, and we have a group of senior leaders that we sort of talk through that and see, is this the right project at the right time? We also take measure of what's happening out there, and should we be more flexible, and instead of doing something that we may have put on our oversight plan, consider something different. For example, in December, we announced an evaluation of the Navy's Red Hill fuel storage operations in Hawaii. You know, that's a current topic that they're talking about in the press, and it's a major issue that we have to look at as the watchdog for the Department of Defense.
All right. Well, Courtney, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future Government Matters interviews.